My child, before you continue scrolling, listen carefully to this message, because what you are feeling right now is not random. You have been carrying silent battles that nobody truly understands, and heaven wants to speak directly to your heart today. There have been nights when you smiled in front of people, but cried quietly when nobody was around. Moments where you felt emotionally exhausted, yet still forced yourself to stay strong for everyone else. And sometimes you even wondered, God, do you still see me? Yes. He sees every hidden tear, every disappointment you never talked about, every prayer you whispered while feeling broken inside. You thought your silence went unnoticed, but heaven heard every word your heart could not explain. That is why this message found you today. Not by accident, not by coincidence, but because God knows exactly what season you are walking through. And He wants you to understand something important right now. The pressure you have been feeling lately is not meant to destroy you. It is preparing you. Because before God changes a person's life, He often changes their spirit first. He removes distractions. He exposes fake relationships. He breaks unhealthy attachments. He slows things down. And sometimes He allows uncomfortable seasons, so your soul can awaken again. At first, that process feels painful. You begin losing interest in things that once excited you. People start misunderstanding you. Doors suddenly close. Plans stop working. And you wonder why life feels so different. But what feels like rejection is sometimes divine protection. God can see conversations you cannot hear. He can see betrayal before it happens. He can see future pain before it arrives. And because He loves you, He will sometimes block certain paths, even when you desperately wanted them. One day you will thank God for every closed door, for every delay, for every relationship that walked away. Because later you will realize, some things had to leave your life for your peace to survive. Listen carefully. Not everyone assigned to your past is qualified to walk into your future. Some people only knew the broken version of you. But God is creating a healed version now. A wiser version. A stronger version. A more spiritually aware version. And everyone cannot go where God is taking you next. That is why you must stop begging people to stay. Stop chasing validation from those who cannot recognize your value. Stop shrinking yourself to keep temporary people comfortable. The wrong people will always misunderstand your growth. But the right people will recognize the light God placed inside you. And that light is becoming stronger. Even after everything you survived, you are still here. Still breathing. Still fighting. Still hoping. Do you understand how powerful that is? The enemy tried to break your spirit. Life tried to exhaust your mind. Pain tried to harden your heart. But somehow, God kept carrying you through every dark season. You may feel weak sometimes, but the fact that you survived proves there is still purpose attached to your life. Because people without purpose usually quit long before this point. Yet you are still standing. That means heaven is not finished with your story. Not even close. There is still healing coming. Still restoration coming. Still unexpected joy coming. Still answered prayers on the way. And yes, there are blessings approaching your life right now that you cannot fully see yet. Some are already moving behind the scenes. God is arranging connections, opening invisible doors, protecting opportunities you have not reached yet, working in places your eyes cannot see. Just because something has not happened yet does not mean God is absent. Seeds grow underground before anyone sees the harvest. And many of your blessings have been growing quietly in hidden places. So do not give up during the waiting season. Waiting does not mean abandonment. Sometimes waiting is where spiritual strength is built. Because during waiting, you learn trust. You learn patience. You learn surrender. You learn that God is still faithful, even when life feels uncertain. And those lessons create unshakable faith. Faith that survives storms. Faith that survives betrayal. Faith that survives disappointment. That kind of faith becomes powerful. Because eventually you stop depending only on emotions. You stop needing constant signs. You stop panicking every time life becomes difficult. Instead, you begin walking with quiet confidence. Not because life is perfect, but because you know God is with you. And when God is with you, no delay is wasted. No pain is meaningless. No season is permanent. Everything begins working together for a greater purpose. Even this current season. Especially this current season. One day you will look back and realize this difficult chapter was actually preparing you for the life you prayed for. Because the future God has planned for you requires a stronger mindset, a healed heart, a wiser spirit. And that transformation takes time. So stop insulting your future by doubting yourself every single day. You are growing more than you realize. Healing more than you realize. Changing more than you realize. And heaven is proud of the progress you keep overlooking. Even your small victories matter. Every day you kept going when you wanted to quit mattered. Every prayer whispered through tears mattered. Every moment you chose faith over fear mattered. God sees all of it. And He will not waste your obedience. So tonight, release the fear that your life will never improve. Release the lie that you are forgotten. Release the belief that you missed your purpose. You are not too late. You are not abandoned. And your story is far from over. In fact, you may be standing closer to your breakthrough than ever before. And when that breakthrough finally arrives, it will not only change your situation, it will change the way you see yourself forever. Because for so long, you have looked at your life through pain, through disappointment, through fear, through memories that kept whispering, "You are not enough." But God is about to silence those voices. The same person who once doubted their future will soon walk with confidence. The same heart that felt abandoned will experience deep peace. The same hands that once held tears will soon hold testimonies. And people around you will not understand how you stayed strong through everything. They did not see the private battles. They did not hear the silent prayers. They only see the surface. But heaven saw the whole journey. Every time you almost gave up. Every moment you felt emotionally tired. Every battle you fought quietly in your mind. God was there through all of it. That is why you cannot allow temporary emotions to make permanent decisions for your future. Some of your darkest moments were actually moments where God was protecting you From becoming someone you were never meant to be. Pain changed you. But it also opened your eyes. Now you notice things differently. You value peace differently. You protect your energy differently. You pray differently. You love differently. And most importantly, you are becoming spiritually stronger. The enemy wanted your suffering to make you bitter. But instead, God is using it to make you wiser. There is a new level of discernment growing inside you now. You can feel when something is not right. You can sense when people are fake. You no longer want shallow connections or empty distractions. Your spirit is craving something deeper. That is not weakness. That is growth. And growth often feels lonely before it becomes beautiful. Remember this. Caterpillars feel trapped before they become butterflies. Seeds disappear underground before they become trees. And sometimes people feel lost right before God transforms their entire life. So if this season feels confusing, do not panic. God is still working. Even in silence. Even in delay. Even in the moments where nothing makes sense. Because heaven does not operate by human timing. God sees the full picture while you only see today. You may be asking for immediate answers, while God is preparing lifelong blessings. You may be crying over one closed door, while heaven is protecting 10 better ones ahead. This is why faith matters. Faith keeps walking when fear says stop. Faith keeps believing when emotions feel weak. Faith keeps trusting even when the results are invisible. And your faith is becoming stronger right now. Not because life became easy, but because you survived seasons that should have broken you. That strength did not come from luck. It came from God carrying you when nobody else could. So hear this clearly tonight. You are not cursed. You are not forgotten. You are not behind in life. You are in a season of preparation. And preparation often feels uncomfortable. Before the blessing finally appears. One conversation can change your life. One opportunity can change your future. One breakthrough can erase years of struggle. And God knows exactly when to release those moments. So stop speaking defeat over yourself. Stop waking up expecting the worst. Stop believing negative thoughts more than God's promises. Your words carry power. Your mindset matters. The atmosphere around your spirit matters. Speak hope again. Speak life again. Speak faith again. Even if your voice shakes. Even if you are still healing. Even if you cannot fully see the outcome yet. Because what heaven starts, heaven finishes. And God did not bring you this far just to abandon you in the middle of your story. The chapter you are living right now is not the final chapter. There is still restoration ahead. Still favor ahead. Still peace ahead. Still unexpected miracles ahead. And one day soon, you will wake up and realize the thing that once broke you no longer controls you anymore. That day is coming. So hold on a little longer. Pray a little deeper. Trust a little stronger. Because your breakthrough is no longer far away. It is getting closer with every step you take. And when that moment finally comes, when God opens the door you cried for, when peace finally replaces confusion, when your heart no longer feels heavy every morning, you will realize something powerful. God was never late. Not once. Even in the seasons where you felt forgotten. Even when people walked away. Even when your prayers seemed unanswered. Even when life felt painfully unfair. God was still writing a story greater than your understanding. Because sometimes heaven allows isolation. To protect your destiny. You thought people abandoned you. But in reality, God was separating you from environments that could no longer carry your future. Some connections were draining your spirit. Some conversations were feeding fear into your mind. Some places looked comfortable, but were quietly destroying your peace. And because God loves you too much to leave you stuck, He started pulling you away from things that no longer matched your calling. At first, it felt painful. Because growth often feels like loss before it feels like transformation. But look at yourself now. You are not the same person you used to be. Your tolerance for negativity changed. Your hunger for peace increased. Your soul became more aware. You stopped chasing certain things. Stopped forcing certain relationships. Stopped begging for attention from people who never appreciated your heart. That is maturity. That is healing. And heaven is proud of the progress. You keep ignoring inside yourself. You keep focusing on how far you still need to go, while God is looking at how far you already came. Do you remember the version of yourself that almost gave up completely? The version that cried themselves to sleep? The version that thought life would never improve? Look closely. You survived that season. You made it through days you once believed would destroy you. And if God carried you through those moments, He can absolutely carry you through this season too. Do not underestimate the strength God placed inside you. There is a reason you are still standing. A reason your spirit refuses to quit. A reason this message is touching your heart right now. Because deep inside, part of you already knows change is coming. You can feel it. A shift is happening. Not everything around you has changed yet. But something inside you is awakening. You are becoming spiritually sharper. Emotionally stronger. Mentally wiser. And that internal transformation will eventually create external breakthrough. That is how God works. He changes the inside first. Because blessings without wisdom can destroy people. Success without healing can become dangerous. Opportunities without spiritual growth can become distractions. So before God releases certain things into your hands, He develops your character first. And character is built in hidden seasons. In lonely nights. In painful waiting. In moments where nobody claps for your obedience. That is where real strength is formed. Not on easy days, but in difficult ones. And your difficult season has been building something powerful inside you. Patience. Discernment. Self-control. Wisdom. Compassion. Unshakable faith. Those qualities are becoming part of your spirit now. Which means when your blessings finally arrive, you will be ready to handle them correctly. Many people want the reward without the preparation. But preparation protects the blessing. That is why God sometimes slows things down. Not to punish you, but to prepare you. Imagine receiving everything you prayed for before your heart was healed. You might have sabotaged it. Imagine entering your next season with the same mindset that once hurt you. The blessing could have become another burden. So heaven waited. Not because God ignored you, but because He cared enough to prepare you properly. And while you were praying for open doors, God was rebuilding your soul, healing hidden wounds, removing toxic thinking, strengthening your spirit, teaching you how to trust Him deeply. Those lessons matter more than you realize, because the next chapter of your life will require a stronger version of you. And that stronger version is being formed right now. So stop comparing your journey to others. Some people look successful online, but are spiritually empty inside. Some people smile publicly, while privately falling apart emotionally. Never compare your hidden growth to somebody else's public image. God is leading your life differently. Your path is unique. Your timing is unique. Your purpose is unique. And what God has planned for you does not need competition to succeed. If it is truly meant for you, no human being can steal it. No delay can cancel it. No betrayal can destroy it. No mistake can permanently block it. What God ordains, He protects. And He is protecting your future even now. That is why you must stop living with constant fear. Fear will make you doubt doors God already opened. Fear will convince you to quit too early. Fear will make you overthink every blessing. But faith creates peace. Faith reminds you that even when life feels uncertain, God remains steady. And His promises do not collapse because of temporary storms. Storms do not scare heaven. God controls oceans, winds, mountains, time itself. So the battle stressing you right now is not bigger than His power. Not even close. And one day, the testimony that comes from this season will inspire people around you. People will ask how you stayed strong, how you survived mentally, how you kept believing through pain. And your story will remind them that God still restores broken people, that miracles still happen, that hope is still alive, that nobody is too damaged for grace, including you. So tonight, breathe again. Hope again. Pray again. Because your story is still unfolding. And heaven is not finished blessing your life. And as this message comes to an end, there is one final thing heaven wants you to remember tonight. You were never fighting alone. Even during the moments where your heart felt empty. Even during the nights where anxiety stole your sleep. Even during the days where nobody checked on you. God was still beside you. Watching over you. Protecting you from battles you never even noticed. There were moments where things could have become far worse. But grace stepped in quietly. Doors closed for your protection. Delays happened for your safety. Certain people left because they could not follow you into your next season. And one day, you will thank God for every painful redirection. Because what felt like rejection was often divine protection. So stop questioning your worth because of who walked away. Stop doubting your future because of temporary delays. And stop believing the lie that your best days are behind you. They are not behind you. They are ahead of you. Your future still carries peace. Still carries healing. Still carries love. Still carries purpose. There are moments ahead of you that will make this painful season worth surviving. Moments where your smile becomes genuine again. Moments where your heart feels safe again. Moments where your prayers finally become reality. And when those moments arrive, you will realize God was preparing everything carefully the entire time. Nothing was wasted. Not your tears. Not your waiting. Not your loneliness. Not even your heartbreak. God will use every part of your story for something meaningful. Even the chapters you wanted to erase. Because healed pain becomes wisdom. And wisdom becomes light for others. That is why your survival matters so much. You are proof that people can break emotionally and still rise again through faith. You are proof that storms do not last forever. You are proof that God still carries people through darkness. Never forget that. And from this moment forward, stop speaking hopelessness over your life. Stop waking up expecting failure. Stop assuming every season will end in disappointment. Your life is changing. Even now. Quietly. Slowly. Deeply. God is rebuilding your confidence. Restoring your peace. Renewing your spirit. And preparing blessings greater than your current understanding. So walk into this next season differently. Not controlled by fear. Not trapped in old pain. Not constantly looking backward. Walk forward with faith. Walk forward believing that healing is possible. Walk forward trusting that what God planned for you is greater than what you lost. Because the next chapter of your life will not be defined by survival anymore. It will be defined by growth. By peace. By purpose. By spiritual strength. And one day soon, you will look back at this version of yourself. The tired version, the hurting version, the waiting version. And you will feel proud that you did not quit. Proud that you kept believing. Proud that you trusted God. Even when life made no sense. Because that decision to keep going changed everything. So tonight, release your fear. Release your shame. Release the weight you were never meant to carry alone. And let your soul rest in this truth. God has not forgotten you. He is still guiding you. Still protecting you. Still healing you. Still preparing something beautiful ahead. And no matter how dark this season once felt, light is already finding its way back to you. Your breakthrough is coming. Your peace is coming. Your new season is coming. And when it finally arrives, it will be more beautiful than anything you almost settled for.